Well, we can't even make any excuses for it anymore. I mean, really, Trump has been doing it for so long, it doesn't even make sense for us to even call it anything other than. It's called pulling a Trump. He can't help himself. Dude literally cannot help himself. Professor X, what's up, my brother? Now, we just watched DeSantis gives a speech about the coronavirus, where they at with Hillsborough County, all the counties in Miami-Dade, the governor of Florida, do all that. Then Trump does something unspeakable. He comes out and makes a tweet talking about Bubba Wallace, trying to compare that to the NASCAR situation. They're saying Bubba Wallace should apologize to NASCAR and the good people of NASCAR that came out and supported him and stood behind him when the whole news thing was nothing but a hoax. That's what he tweeted. It's not verbatim, but it's what he tweeted. It's on Twitter. You can check it out. He didn't take it down. While talking about they had the lowest number ever because they got rid of the Confederate flag, and that NASCAR will suffer from this. Now, in his attempt to defend the Confederate flag, he decided to tear down. Why come whenever people think they're doing something good, they got to tear down something else? So he wants to tear down Bubba Wallace to promote the Confederate flag. It's not what you do. Tearing down Bubba Wallace didn't make the decision to tear it down. It was torn down before that incident ever took place. That's one. Two, and there is a two. Two, Bubba wasn't even at fault. I thought it was a situation where it was on him, but it wasn't. The facts of the matter, when the FBI did the investigation, I said, well, let me look at the investigation and see what actually happened. Now, if I hadn't looked at anything, I would have assumed Bubba got away with doing it Jesse. But Juicy, he didn't do it Juicy. He's not the one that reported anything. It was reported before he even seen it. They was telling him what was in his locker that he got assigned to. Now, him and his team had no idea of what locker he was going to be assigned. NASCAR does all that. So when he got assigned that locker, and they said that's been up since October. That's a rope pull that they use for the garage. But normally, rope pulls are not made in that fashion, but they made it in a noose-like fashion. So the moral of the story was simple. It was very simple. Bubba wasn't to blame. The FBI did the investigation and said there's no crime, but there's nobody to arrest. Because, yeah, you could have mistaked it for that, so nobody planned it. It just happened. But that ain't why they took down the sign. The flag had already been taken down. So what would Bubba been using it for? They've already taken it down. But Trump decided to use that because he likes to create division. The only black man in NASCAR And you want to attack him without looking at the facts. How? The FBI did it. You're the president of the United States. It's unacceptable for you to talk reckless. That's something a normal person can do. An average civilian can talk without facts. They do it all the time. Talk without facts. But when you're the president and commander-in-chief, you cannot do this. But his supporters, this is what you voted for. You voted for a guy who's an imbecile. He's all about division. Divide and conquer. Except for he don't conquer. He just make himself look more stupid. So he puts it on Twitter to keep from people having to hear his voice said, so he can say, well, I really never tweeted anything in my life. Actually, it was my assistant, but I didn't give the approval, so therefore, it did come from me. But technically, I did not type anything. I mean, the guy's a joke. He's like the sad clown that you know is sad. And like nobody's doing anything about it. The sad clown. That's what we're looking at. See, my thing is I treat people fairly. I'm not someone that's dismissive of facts or information. If the information aligns up the way it should, then it's no problem. When it's not making sense, and I see it like, this is a little fishy, I start pointing it out. But when you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar, like the president just did, you gotta call a spade a spade. Like, dog, look, you messed up. You ain't do your homework. So if you ain't do your homework on this, what else you haven't been doing your homework on? You just coming out talking reckless.
Quarter mile, turn right onto the I-75 North ramp.
All right, with the facts. Facts over stats, baby. I ain't saying what he is as a driver. I'm just telling y'all the truth. So, on that note, I'm out. I'll holler at y'all. Deuces.